Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on the 71 Cutlass. We're going to start off today by getting the front glass and the rear glass removed from the car. I went to Harbor Freight and got one of these windshield removal tools, so we're going to see how well they work. I got a couple different ones. And we're going to start on the back glass and then we're going to do the front glass. Okay, so the rear glass is out and it came out really nice, really without an issue. Front glass, for some reason, it was a lot tighter, and as I got around the top right here, it broke right there. You can see it shattered it, and it went all the way down. So we're gonna have to get a new front glass for this. So now that the glass is out, what's next is I'm gonna get underneath and I'm gonna pull out this dash. That way we can get it out of the way because I don't want the blaster to hurt it. So we're gonna get started on that right now. Dash is all the way torn apart. Pretty much everything is off of this that needs to come off of it to get it off the frame. Got in the trunk, got all of this cleaned up. You can see, found a ton of rust. I don't think we're gonna have to replace this, but we'll see once it gets back from blast. Also got all of the Dynamat removed from the trunk, so we are ready to get the Cutlass off the frame. So I'm gonna grab the jack stands that I made and put them on the side, and then we're gonna start jacking this up to get it off. Okay, so I got the rotisserie kind of mocked up where it needs to be. The problem I'm running into is the arms for this rotisserie are actually super short. And my plan was to actually run bolts through the bottom mounts right here and then into my brackets that then connect to my rotisserie. But those arms are super short, so either I'm going to get a piece of tubing like this and run it all the way across this and then bolt these up to that, or what I'm kind of leaning more towards is actually cutting this piece off, extending it a little bit longer, so probably to here. So the problem is if I don't extend the arms to this rotisserie, I'm gonna have to pretty much build that piece for every single car I do, and that's just not feasible. Like, I'll have to do it for the Blazer and eventually for the Mustang. And so really what I'm leaning more towards is extending these arms just a little bit more, probably about 6 inches to a foot, just so they can reach that body mount, and then I won't have to build all of these jigs and stuff to get the bodies on the rotisserie. I'll just be able to bolt them straight up. So the same thing goes for the frames. When I paint the frames, they will go on the rotisserie, and pretty sure they're not going to bolt up either. So I think right now I am pretty much on hold. So the car is up off the frame, looks super good, pretty happy with how it's coming out. I'm gonna go underneath and make sure I got everything disconnected now. And then I'm gonna see if someone can run to the metal store to see if they can get me these bars, and then I'll make that modification. Okay, so it's the next day. I went out and purchased some steel. So what the plan is I have 8 pieces. 2 are this 2-inch, and the other 2 are, I think they're 2 1/4 or 2 1/2. And what I'm gonna do is this 2-inch will slide in here, and I'll just beat it all the way in, and then I'll cut this 6 inches, slide that over the top of it, and then weld it. That way, I was a little worried if I just welded it, it wouldn't be strong enough. So we're gonna do it this way just because I don't wanna ever have any issues with this, and now we're pretty much gonna be able to move this and make it as long as we want. So I'm gonna get this in the garage because I'm not gonna work in the sun. This kind of sucks just because I really wasn't planning on this, and I have about 3 days to get this thing ready and on the rotisserie and stripped by hand first before we send it to the blaster. So I'm gonna be working late tonight and late the next couple of days. That way I can get the Cutlass body and also the Blazer body completely ready for blast. Okay, so we got the rotisserie put on the back of the Cutlass. I had to cut out these access holes because these bolts were spinning, or these nuts were spinning in there, and they're super rusted. So just ran a bolt through that, down through my rotisserie. So now the back is done. And then Mike has been fabricating up these extensions. So these slide in, and then these pieces bolt on. So now we are able to bolt up the front because it's a little bit wider than the arms that were on this rotisserie stock. So we're gonna get this pushed around right now and then get the front bolted up and tighten up the bottom bar, and then the Cutlass will be on the rotisserie. Okay, so now that the Cutlass body is mounted on the rotisserie, the next thing on our list before blast, now we are blasting tomorrow, so I have today to get everything else ready. So I got to get these pieces off of the hood, this back trim piece right here, and then really everything else gutted. And then we're going to grab one of my stands in the corner, set it up, and we're going to start stripping all of these manually before we send them to blast. So I got both of the doors pretty much stripped. I'm not gonna go all the way down the middle because I'm just gonna have him do a quick blast over this. That way it cleans the rest of it up. I just want to get as much mud and paint off as I could because these doors were pretty thick. So next I'm going to move to the deck lid, get the top of this completely stripped, and then jump over to the hood, get it taken apart, and get the hood stripped. So I got the first truckload pretty much ready to go over to get blasted. I'm gonna have to go over, unload this, grab the trailer so that I can grab the Cutlass, and then come back again and grab the Blazer. We're gonna get all the parts over there. So we're gonna head that way right now. Okay, well, I ran out of time yesterday. I had some places that I had to be, and we just really didn't have enough time. We got the Cutlass on the rotisserie, so it is 6:30 in the morning right now. I already got the back of the truck loaded up with the Blazer doors and the Blazer fenders because those are getting blasted. And now we're gonna head over to the house because we already have the trailer on. We're gonna throw the Cutlass on the back of the trailer, and then also grab the Cutlass doors and the tailgate for the Blazer and the hood for the Cutlass, throw all those in the back of the truck, and then head over to where they're gonna get blasted. So I'll see you guys at the house. Okay, check that out. So Cutlass is off the jack stands and finally mounted on the rotisserie. You can see what we had to do up here. Just extended this bar, bolted it through our main bar, and then built these brackets to reach out and attach. So the blaster is gonna be here in about 30 minutes. So I gotta get the Cutlass on the trailer, get it tied down, get it over to the blast area. So let's load this thing up. Today is a big day. We are getting the Cutlass blasted. So I got the Cutlass on the back of the trailer right now, and I'm pretty curious to see what condition the body is actually in. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how much metalwork we have to do and if we ordered enough patches for the metalwork that we need done already. So it's a couple minute drive to where I'm getting it blasted, so I'll see you guys in a second. I was actually gonna pull the rotisserie off the trailer and get it blasted off the trailer, but it's just such a pain to get back on the trailer because we have to jack it up in the front and then back it up and then jack it up in the rear, and it's just kind of sketchy. So I decided what we're gonna do is I'm gonna leave it on the trailer. We're gonna move these straps down here and then put the post extensions on here so that it's a little bit more stable so we can rotate it. And then the blaster is just gonna blast it on the trailer. Okay, so it has been a couple days. I got the Cutlass back in the garage. Really, we didn't find as many surprises as we thought we would. Overall, it looks really good. Let me show you guys around the car. So we knew that this spot in the floor was bad, so I already ordered a patch for that, and it is actually right there. It's so nice having a rotisserie. It makes life so much easier because I can just tilt it up like this, and then you can see the entire bottom. Overall, it looks really good. So we ordered a trunk pan for this just because you can see it's got raw all the way along here, which sucks because we really weren't planning on replacing that, but I mean, it is what it is. We'll get it replaced now. But this beautiful metalwork is absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, we couldn't really see it was there. That's why it's so nice when you decide to paint something to get it down to bare metal. That way you can address any issues that you have. So we're gonna do 2 full quarters on this. I'll jump over and show you the other side right now. Other than that, we are going to redo these outer wheel wells. They are both right there. And then our firewall patch also came in. Rockers look really good. You can see there's really no rot on them. And the rest of the car looks really good, which is really surprising. Our extensions that we made for the rotisserie worked perfectly. And now over to the driver's side, everything is pretty good over here. You can see they tried to put a quarter on this, and we are actually going to cut this off and redo it because they did not do it correctly. And then there's also a little bit more rot in here that we're just going to patch. But really the only thing that surprised us on this car is actually this top quarter and top of the roof. You can see got rot all the way across here. We are going to make some modifications to extend this because we're not going to run the chrome anymore in the back. And so we're going to extend this lip a little bit. So I'm actually, instead of ordering a roof, we are going to patch this right here and then also patch all of this. Which really, this was the most surprising part of it, but I mean, it will be an easy fix. Other than that, the doors look pretty good. There was really no issues with them. The fenders, on the other hand, this one is absolutely beat. You can see all of the dents across this, but we'll metal work it a little bit and then smooth it out with some mud. But then this fender is the one I was having concerns about because you could tell it was rotted from underneath. And this is the patch that they put in. So it almost looks like I did this patch when I first started working on cars. But we're going to cut this out and do it the correct way and get that fixed. So this is pretty exciting. I mean, we're really at a new stage on the build now. We're gonna go full out on the metalwork and get it knocked out. So the goal of this car is really to have it driving next summer. I know that we were really aiming for this summer, but with all the fabrication and all of the time-consuming stuff that had to go into the car, it just wasn't possible. But I'm really excited to do this car the correct way, get it painted, and really kind of walk you guys through the process of how to do a nice paint job on a classic car. I'm also keeping track of all of the costs of everything. That way at the end of when we finish this car, I can do a price breakdown for you guys. That way you guys could kind of see, I guess, kind of a ballpark price of what it would cost to do a restoration on one of these old classic cars if you do it yourself. And that's really the whole point of this. The whole point of this channel is so I can kind of help you guys see the way that I build cars and help you guys learn and see if you guys really like the way that I do this and maybe follow along. So I mean, there's tons of ways to build cars. There's tons of different styles of restorations. This is just the way that I do it, the way that I've learned to do it. But like I said, I'm so stoked to start the metalwork on this Cutlass. Got a lot to do, but I'm gonna save that for the next episode. So on that note, I just really wanna say thanks to everybody who watched to the end. This is super exciting and we are about to go all out and get this baby done. It really means the world to me and I just want to keep creating this content and hopefully you guys are enjoying this. So if you guys ever have any questions or comments or concerns, be sure to leave them in the comments and I will address them. So on that note, thanks for watching and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.